Welcome to the Sports Watchdog radio show, hosted by Mason Kern. He keeps his nose to the ground to report on what's trending in professional and college sports, to inform, enlighten, and entertain. And now it's
the Sports Watchdog.
The Sports Watchdog, Mason Kern.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sports Watchdog radio show. As always, I'm your host, Mason Kern, bringing you hot sports topics and interviews every week. Now, in honor of upcoming Super Bowl Sunday, today is going to be a special NFL-focused edition of the show with a number of league-related guests. This includes retired NFL safety Ray Austin, former NFL offensive lineman Marcus Ogden, as well as Daniel Bookbar, who's president and CEO of the NFL Experience in New York's Times Square. Obviously, there's a lot to get to today, so let's just jump right in with our first guest. Joining me now is retired NFL safety Ray Austin, current co-founder of the newly launched fan-controlled football league. After being drafted in the 5th round of the 1997 NFL Draft by the New York Jets, Ray enjoyed a professional football career that also had him spend time on the gridiron playing for the Chicago Bears and ultimately for the Green Bay Packers before his retirement. He also did make one final appearance on the Chicago Enforcers roster in the XFL before hanging up his cleats for good. Since his retirement for the last 15 years, Ray has embarked on entrepreneurial endeavors and has been a staple in both the sports and entertainment industries. A recent cast member of the hit Bravo reality show 100 Days of Summer, as an actor and model, Ray has actually been featured in an array of hugely popular TV shows, including Empire, Chicago PD, Prison Break, and over 100 commercials as well. On other fronts, Ray also co-founded the Fan-Controlled Football League, or FCFL as it's known, which is reportedly the world's first fan-run pro sports league. So Ray is here to expand upon the purpose and spark behind the FCFL and also share some insights on his NFL career and the current NFL season as well. Hey, Ray, thanks for joining us on the Sports Watchdog radio show. Glad you could be here.
Man, that was awesome. I might have you be my my opening guy when I become a comic or something. That was dope.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so I would love to do that for sure. Thank you again for joining me today. So let me just start by asking about the Fan-Controlled Football League. What really is it, and how did the idea for it come about?
Oh man, it's listen. We are creating the new generation of live sports. We have it's 5 co-founders, and what's so funny about it, we didn't even know each other when we all came up with this. Grant Cohen, he actually had an idea for a baseball fan-controlled baseball team, and he wanted to own a minor league baseball team and have the fans control it. He did it for a little while. It kind of took off, and it just kind of he put it on the shelf. Myself, I was in Chicago after playing football and also acting and modeling in Chicago. I came up with a beta test app that allow an actual play to get from the the coach to the quarterback, and I had been working on that with some guys in Chicago for a few years. It got to a certain place and it fizzled out as well. Our CEO, Sohrab Faroudi, actually owned an arena football team in Vegas, and he had the idea of turning his team into a fan-controlled football team. Same thing. Wow. It went to a certain place and it fizzled out. So a former teammate of mine, safety Tony Parrish, who I played under when I was with the Chicago Bears, he was in town. We got to chatting, and he had known Sohrab, and he had basically said, "Hey man, you guys got to meet." And we met. And it was like love at first sight. We all got married. We all flew out to L.A. We all met, and we put our heads together. We all had different dynamics. We were all entrepreneurs, and we all had different dynamics that could make this thing work. And we started to create the Fan-Controlled Football League.
Well, yeah, definitely. You're really bringing people together. Like you said, it's gone global now, so it's connecting people around football, which is awesome. And being a former player yourself, I was curious, what made you and the co-founders decide to give the power to the fans instead of possibly the athletes themselves?
Bro, think about it. If you think about it, Nate. If you think about football, let's go back a couple years ago. The Seattle Seahawks,
okay.
and the New England Patriots, and in the fourth quarter, and we got what I think it was 2 yards to go, and we've got the beast mode behind us. What do you think? If you gave everybody $1 and said, what would you bet on? How much money would you put your house on it? What would you thought everybody would have chose?
Everyone's probably going to get beast mode in their zone.
There you go. And things like that. And if you think about that, Nate, that is a executive decision that most NFL, NBA teams have to make on a daily basis, whether it's a Ray Rice situation, whether it's a DUI situation, whether it's a sexual allegation. These are situations that executive, multi-billion-dollar teams have to make, and we allowed our fans to make that decision. And that's what that is the definition of power to the fans.
I want to shift over to this current NFL season now. You mentioned barely anyone even makes it to the NFL, and you were blessed enough to have this talent and were able to make it there. But what's your take on all of the controversy that occurred throughout the course of this past NFL season, like the national anthem protests, president's comments, all the other controversies that plagued the NFL of late? What are your thoughts on any of that, and how is that different than your time in the league?
And it's funny because I come from a different generation. I remember. See, a lot of people in this generation don't remember. I remember when we were in the locker rooms when the national anthem was being played. So that's a new thing, and people don't. If you really do your research, you'll really remember that the armed forces got on to the NFL because they wanted the NFL to look patriotic. To me, I think they needed to be separate. We were separate when we were doing it way back then. When the national anthem was being played, we were in there on our knees. Funny, we were really actually in the locker room on our knees, either praying or getting ready to go. That's how I grew up. Now the situation that's going on today, I 100% would stand right behind him if I had the chance. I see what he was trying to do, because I've lived in Chicago. I used to play with the Bears, so I've lived in Chicago for 15 years. And see, I've seen Chicago. I've seen the inner city. I've seen what's been going on in the inner city. And I understood what he was standing for. And I can say that because I come from a military background. People that really look into my background, my father was he was a drill sergeant. I grew up as an Army brat. I've been all around the world. I've been diverse. The thing about armed forces that I will always respect, if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have never been able to play football. So there is a respect and a love and an honor that I'll always have for that. But at the same time, I understand why he did what he did. I think the government, the president getting involved with it had nothing to do with him. I think it was all distraction. So that's my point. I want to get political, but you know where I'm at. But that's where I do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what Colin Kaepernick, when he kind of started this whole movement, it definitely sparked some controversy, and it's kind of been a hot topic in the league of late. But your time in the NFL, obviously, with what you're saying, when y'all were in the locker room, it's definitely different, and people's opinions definitely have changed. But I want to get on to a lighter note now. So obviously, Super Bowl Sunday coming up. Looking forward to it. The match is set. Philadelphia Eagles, New England Patriots. Who do you got taking? Who's going to hoist the Vince Lombardi Trophy?
I'd like, just like everyone else, see somebody else. I mean, I thought this had a little, I don't know, a little fantasy, a little, lead Tom Brady out, like, riding on the white horse type of thing. I honestly, I just want it to be a good game. But I can't be more happier for Belichick, and I just want it to be a good game, to be honest with you, man. It's funny because I don't watch football, and most former players and current players don't watch football like a fan would. I mean, a lot of fans watch it now, especially how fantasy football is and how the internet is and how social media is. It has transformed the way the game is. The way we watch it is a little different. It's almost kind of like you're watching your work. So you look at it from a different aspect. You look at it from different players, and you could care less about our hoorah. You want to say, hey, why did that happen? Why didn't they adjust? Well, on this third down, they're going to do this. They got 14 plays, and now that's what, now they're going to be attacking you with. That's the type of stuff. Belichick is amazing with time management. If you watch that last game, he wasn't worried. He knew how much time he had. He knew his offense. So that's the type of things I like to talk about. So that's what I want to see. I just want to see a good game. And I don't want to see what just happened in the Saints. I don't want to see what just happened last week. I want to see a good, solid, rock-hard game.
Exactly. All right. Well, Ray, thanks so much for coming on and giving us some great insights. Where can our listeners go to get more information on you and the FCFL?
Man, if you guys want any more, we got some really, really awesome stuff coming out. Go to scfl.io. That's our website. And you can go to our Twitter. It's the same. And you can go, if you want to check me out and to see if I'm thinking of lying. Seriously, I've done a couple of things in life. So it's rayaustin36.com, or you can go to my Instagram, rayaustin30. Everything is rayaustin36. And if you follow me, I'll absolutely follow you.
There you go, guys. All right, everyone. The Sports Watchdog Radio Show with me, your host, Mason Kern, the Watchdog himself. We'll be right back after this quick word.
For those seeking serious skills on the green, up your game with Blast Motion Golf, the world's most accurate and consistent real-time motion capture technology for driving and putting. This removable Bluetooth-connected motion sensor attaches to a driver or putter shaft. It analyzes and records putts and full swings for 8 hours, allowing users to quantify progress, view video highlights, and share videos via social networks. Learn more at blastmotion.com.
Hello and welcome back. This is the Sports Watchdog Radio Show. As always, I'm your host, Mason Kern, and now on the line is retired NFL offensive lineman Marcus Ogden, now founder of the Ogden Leadership Academy. Marcus was drafted in the 6th round of the 2003 NFL Draft by the Jacksonville Jaguars, a pick that had originated from the New England Patriots via the Chicago Bears. Overall, he played in the NFL for 5 years with the Jaguars, Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo Bills, and Tennessee Titans. During the off-season period, Marcus also helped train football players in Europe, both physically and mentally. At the age of 27, Marcus founded a construction company, a business that grew rapidly in its first few years, but eventually fell on hard times. With great perseverance, Marcus picked himself up, dusted himself off, and with hard work and determination, has established himself as a best-selling author and revered motivational speaker and marketing leader, helping other business executives succeed. Hey, Marcus, thanks for coming on the Sports Watchdog Radio Show. Glad you could join us today.
How you doing, man? How's everything going?
Great. How are you? Thank you again for joining me.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Anytime I get a chance to work with people who are in the sports industry, I'm always excited to do so.
Yeah, definitely. So first off, Marcus, I want to just start by giving you some major props for overcoming the adversities you experienced early on in your business life. Now, to come out of that kind of situation bigger and better is truly amazing and certainly no easy feat. So what is the foremost thing you learned from that tough experience?
What I learned is that when life knocks you down, and again, life is definitely going to knock you down, no matter, I don't know if it's going to be a huge knockdown or just a little quick 3 count, either standing 8 count or a quick 3 count, I'm not really sure. But life was designed to give you trials and tribulations, and it's really your job to persevere and push through them. And when I went through my bankruptcy and I went through losing my home, my cars, everything that I owned, I realized that the only person I could truly count on was myself and my family, and I had to really dig inside of myself to find greatness, to be able to push forward, to eventually become a motivational speaker to help others succeed where I struggled and had my shortcomings in life.
I mean, definitely. Like I said, I mean, it's really commendable how you truly did pick yourself back up again and now to have realized the success that you have. I know something that came out of it, the Ogden Leadership Academy. So can you tell us a little more about that? What do you strive to achieve with the organization, and what are its main goals, really?
The Ogden Leadership Academy was designed to do 4 things: to help you improve public speaking, help you improve your leadership skills, help you become a better networker, and help you learn the secrets of marketing. And what we've done is, this is going to be our 4th one coming up in May 17th and 18th in Henderson, Nevada. And what's going to happen is we work on have different speakers come in, expert speakers. We do different types of breakout sessions, but really, truly what it's designed for, my friend, is the art of networking. I'm a big believer you are who you surround yourself with, or the classic saying, your net worth is your network. And I'm a big, big proponent of allowing people to meet each other and network and exchange business cards or establish relationships, because people do business with people that they like. So it's critical and it's key that our participants get the opportunity to network with other individuals of like mind and business sound professionalism to help them grow their specific and unique brands.
Well, that's definitely a great outline and blueprint that you give people. I think that people really need to take your advice to heart because you were able to pick yourself up and put yourself in such a fruitful situation. And I did also mention you're an author, having written the best-selling autobiography titled Sleepless Nights, The NFL of Family and Business. And I also understand that you have a new book in the works. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's called Hard Work passion and drive. It's talking about what it really takes to be successful. It's more about, my life in certain points where, I had to face, different obstacles, overcome different issues, and how I had to use those three things as a cycle to help you become successful and to push forward. I'm a real big believer that if you can follow someone's, like you call blueprint or their map or their outline of what they did in life, and more important, what they did wrong, and hoping to avoid those things, that's when you can reach success. So I'm very fortunate that lately I have a lot of great clients. I have a lot of great people that support our brand. I've got some great business partners, and I'm all about sharing the knowledge to help others be successful.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really glad that you do that, and I think people should give your new book a read when it comes out. And Marcus, I want to shift over now to this current NFL season. Having played in the league at some point yourself, having been a player, what do you make of all the recent controversies surrounding this past season with the national anthem protest, president's comments, and such that made headlines throughout this year?
Well, I'm a big believer in the RUS, and people should stand for the flag. That's just me. Now, if a guy wants to basically do his own thing, that's going to be his decision. That's what he's going to have to live with. For me, having two grandfathers served in World War II and uncle in Vietnam who still has Agent Orange in him to this day, I've always been a big believer that you should stand for the national anthem, and you should have your hand on your heart, and you should be saluting the flag. But again, that's me. Guys are entitled to do what they want to do, but remember this: when you make a decision, it's going to be there's a cause, there's an effect, and when there's an action, there's a reaction. So when you make a decision, do not be surprised that the reaction may not be what you want it to be because people don't agree with what you're doing.
Of course, yeah, everyone is entitled to their own opinions and decisions, and I agree people face consequences of those decisions. So now, Marcus, I want to go on a lighter note now. How about your own NFL career personally? Do you have any favorite moment or even a growth moment per se, a lesson learned that comes to mind?
Well, a funny moment will be after we ended up making the roster and the vets decided to have a little rookie fun with us and cut our hair and end up making me have no eyebrows for like 3 weeks walking around Jacksonville, Florida. I'm 22 years old. No eyebrows, and trying to basically figure out what the heck's going on with my life. And I'm looking like a guy who basically has, who can't afford, to keep himself up. That was my funny story. And then, just like, I won't say gross, but it's kind of like, sad or real stories is people don't understand that when you make it to the NFL, it's not just going to be, what I call, an easy street. You're going to have to work. And just some of the stories that I saw of guys that just really came in the league for a day, a week, didn't want to put the work in, didn't want to truly hone on their craft. Those are the stories that make me ill because these are guys that now live on their former glory, and they're basically saying the NFL, they're basically, is basically saying the NFL didn't do them right or did them an injustice, and when in reality it was themselves not putting in the work.
Wow, that is a pretty funny story. And to your point, I do think it is obviously all about the hard work and dedication. They make it to that level. It is kind of disappointing that they get cut for not putting the work in. But two teams that have put the work in this season, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, New England Patriots meeting up in the Super Bowl. With that coming up, who do you think is going to hoist the Vince Lombardi trophy at the end?
I want Philly to win. Because I know Torrey Smith, and I've got some other guys I know playing with the Eagles. A good friend of mine, Jamal Jackson, out of Delaware State, Jaquay Thomas, Mike Patterson, all kind of great guys. L.J. Smith, tight end out of Rutgers, who I was working with a little bit, helping him with his post-life after football career. But in real terms, I just really can't bet against the old man. I just don't have it in me to put money against the old man. I wish that I could say Philly was going to lock it up and they've got a great pass rush, they've got a great defense, they've got a great team overall, but I just can't go against the old man. I just can't do it. So I have to regretfully say I think New England's going to win. It's going to be 6 Super Bowls for Tom. And the man's already said he wants to play till he's 45. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but how do you cut a man at 41 that just won a Super Bowl? How do you cut him? Or how do you? I mean, you can't cut him. New England will go crazy. So, I mean, that's just my thought that I would love it to be Philly, but I think it's going to be New England.
It seems like he does every single year. Well, Marcus, thanks so much for your time, valuable input. Obviously, our listeners surely do appreciate it. Where can they go to get more information about you and all of your upcoming initiatives in the future?
So they can go to one of my two websites. They can go to my public speaking website, which is www.marcus, MARQUES, Ogden, OGDEN, publicspeaker.com, or they can go to my Leadership Academy website, www.ogdenleadership.com.
Well, there you go, guys. There you have it. Make sure to visit those two websites and check out Marcus Ogden's new book when you get a chance. All right, everyone. The Sports Watchdog Radio Show will be right back after this.
Want shoes with swag? Check out iSlide for premium customizable slide sandals. You can personalize this footwear any way you want using any photo, logo, or message. You can even order for an entire team, wedding, or other group event. iSlide's proprietary printing process and design team produces super high-quality images, while massaging Ripple footbed makes iSlide the comfiest slides in the game. So go ahead and get creative at iSlideUSA.com.
Hey everyone, once again, you're listening to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show. I'm your host, Mason Kern. Up next, I have a really great guest to share with you. He is the president of the newly launched NFL Experience attraction, Daniel Bookvar. Daniel is currently the president of NFL Experience, charged with leading the launch of the most interactive NFL-type simulation, the first of its kind, fully immersive. Hey everyone, once again, you're listening to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show. I'm your host, Mason Kern. Up next, I have a really great guest to share with you. He's the president of the newly launched NFL Experience attraction, Daniel Bookvar. Daniel is currently the president of NFL Experience, charged with leading the launch of the most interactive NFL-type simulation, the first of its kind, fully immersive experiential attraction which opened in the heart of Times Square in November of 2017. NFL Experience Times Square is a first-of-its-kind interactive and immersive attraction located in the heart of New York City that brings fans closer than ever to the National Football League and their favorite team. Combining immersive content, interactive displays, a state-of-the-art 4D cinema, and other multimedia effects, the experience takes visitors from the stands onto the field, transporting them from kickoff through playoffs and ultimately the Super Bowl. So Daniel is here to give us some more info on the NFL Experience and give us some insight on his own business success as well. Thanks for joining me on the show, Daniel. Glad you could be here.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much again. So first off, I know I already provided a cursory description, but in your own words, what is the NFL Experience and who is it really for?
There's a little bit there for everyone, but as you said, it's got memorabilia and the Vince Lombardi Trophy and artifacts that Hall of Famer types would love. But it's got a 4D movie that acts more like a ride, which is the chance to experience the season just like an NFL player. And by 4D means when they get hit, your seat moves. When the jets fly over, you smell the gasoline of the jet fuel. When it snows in Lambeau Field, I won't give it away, but there are weather elements. So it's got a mix of Disney and a mix of the Hall of Fame, and I haven't even gotten yet to the chances to actually throw footballs in the quarterback challenge or to do a vertical jump just like the combine. So a real mix of activities in the middle of Times Square at 47th and 7th.
Well, it seems like a really immersive place for fans and players alike. And I know the attraction launched in November of 2017, so that must have been quite the event. How exactly did you celebrate the grand opening?
We had a great event last week. We had the commissioner and Michael Strahan and Julian Edelman and Brandon Marshall and a lot of other players and celebrities and families and their families helping us cut the ribbon here at this really once-in-a-lifetime, first-ever attraction in the middle of Times Square. The highlight for me was Brandon Marshall, who you know is heard saying, as he sat next to the Lombardi Trophy in our Super Bowl celebration room, saying, "Man, this really makes me want to get back onto the field. This gives me chills being here." And that just shows you that I think we've done a good job creating something that's going to give fans a chance to step into the game and feel what it's really like to be a football player.
I mean, yeah, that must have been really exciting hearing an actual NFL player saying something so great about your attraction. I also do understand that Cirque du Soleil is involved, so how did they become interested in partnering with the NFL?
A really unique venture that is between Cirque du Soleil, the NFL, and a top-tier investor group of some of the best live entertainment businesses. But Cirque du Soleil, as we all know, is one of the biggest circus arts businesses on the planet and a brand that's global and well-known. But what you may not know is that we recently were bought by the Texas TPG, a major private equity firm, and their goal is to expand to become a global live entertainment leader even outside of the circus. And Cirque du Soleil owns Blue Man Group. They have the NFL experience that they're opening, and they've really branched out into other brands, whether it's Avatar in China or obviously Beatles and Michael Jackson in Las Vegas. Cirque is so good at creating and producing top-tier live entertainment, often using other folks' brands. And the NFL and Cirque have combined in this unique joint venture, which is really amazing.
Yeah, I think their presence would definitely enhance the attraction overall as a whole. But walk me through, Daniel, when a fan or even an athlete themselves decides to go through the NFL experience, what should they be expecting?
I think the key thing is a mix of media. It's old school and new school all wrapped up into one. So new school, you got touchscreen tablets where you can nerd out on your favorite teams. You've got this cool AR experience where you can get a digital uniform transposed on your body, which is super cool. It's got a custom video game where Coach Sean Gruden screams in your ear as you try to run a play that won the Super Bowl, Dice Right 61 Bullseye X individual. But at the same time, you've got just old school physical challenges like the combine. You just do a vertical jump just like they do at the combine. Blocking sled just like they do in practice. Throwing a football just like they do. So you can expect a little bit of old school and new school.
Yeah, it really must feel like fans are actually down there on the field through this entire experience, not just through the 40-seater. But looking towards the future now, do you plan on only focusing at the NFL level, or might fans expect experience attractions for other major sports franchises in the future?
Right now we're here to prove that this works and create a terrific fan engagement in the middle of the Times Square. So right now that's what we're laser-like focused on. But we think we've got a winner here, and who knows what the future holds once we delight and create great memories for millions of fans here in New York.
Well, I definitely agree. It sounds like you guys have something great here with the NFL experience. Now, in terms of your own experiences, obviously the road to success is never easy, and surely the NFL experience has its challenges along the way. What advice can you give to those who have a big idea and are overwhelmed with it all?
It's a nervous laugh I just gave. Look, it's not for the faint of heart. Go big or go home comes to mind, but you gotta, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. This is a high-profile project. We're the first one on the planet, and so you have to be willing to take risks, answer to a lot of people, and work your tail off, and then test, measure, and refine, so that you can quickly adjust and pivot. Once you test things, you measure it, and then you refine it, so that you set yourself up for success. So a lot of hard work, a lot of resilience, a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and the ability to move quickly are sort of the first things that come to mind.
Well, that was some really great advice, Daniel. Thank you so much for your time and valuable information. Where can our listeners go to get more info about the NFL experience?
NFLexperience.com, and we can't wait to have you come visit.
Well, that's a wrap, everyone. Anybody wanting to connect with me, the Sports Watchdog, on Twitter can do so at A Sports Watchdog, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well at The Sports Watchdog. So until next time, keep your eye on the ball.
The Sports Watchdog.
The Sports Watchdog Ace and Kern.